beat.
94.9 FM.
8235 CN.
Houston.
Make no mistake about it.
Welcome to the No Judgment, Just Realness Zone with Dawn Paul, aka the Dr. Dawn, your certified life coach. And now here's Dr. Dawn.
Hi, everybody. Happy Friday. You know who this is. This is your girl, Dawn Paul, a.k.a. the Dr. Dawn, your certified life coach. And as I always say, my prescription is my word. You can't get no better medicine than that. It's better than NyQuil. It's better than Dimetap. Dr. Dawn is here. I'm back. I took a little break for 2 weeks. Everybody needs a little vacation. Hey, nothing wrong with that. But Dr. Dawn is back. I'm so glad to be back with you all. I missed you so much. I thought about you every single day. But got a good show for you later on, of course. Dr. Dawn will be giving you her Dr. Dawn Daily Dose, give you some positivity into the weekend. And Dr. Dawn will also be answering love and life questions. I got a good one today. But thank you for everybody who is listening on 94.9 FM. Yes, you can now listen to me on FM. And then also 1480 AM. Thank you for those who are listening online on SynergyRadioNetwork.com. And thank you to those who are watching through Facebook Live. As always, I will read your comments through Facebook Live. But if you do want to call in and get in on the conversation, which I know you do and you always do, give us a call, 832-230-5592. That is 832-230-5592. Today, y'all know it is springtime. It is spring season. I put a question out there this morning, got a lot of good comments, but it is springtime. You are cleaning out your closets. You're cleaning out that messy desk with all them candy bar wrappers at work. You're cleaning up your finances. But is it time for you to do some spring cleaning in your circle? Is there some people who need to be swept up, maybe vacuumed up away? We don't know, but we're going to be talking about that today. It is toxic relationships. That's right, toxic relationships, people. Everybody has dealt with them. And are you toxic? You know, some people say everybody's the problem. No, maybe you're the problem. But we're going to talk about that today too. But is it time to clean your circle? Thank you for watching the Dr. Dawn radio show. And first, I have to say, ladies first, I have two great guests. You know, God always brings the right spirits in the place. I tell you that. First, we have, ladies first, Miss Angela Denise. She's an author. She is a certified life and relationship coach, and she is the founder of the Standing Strong movement. How are you, Miss Angela?
I'm doing good, Dr. Dawn.
She has two names, Angela Denise. I love that.
Yes.
Might as well do that. And then last but not least, Sean C. Wilburn. You know him. He's a radio host. He's a pastor. He is an author. He's a fashion guru with his own fashion line. Watch out. Coming soon to New York Fashion Week. We claim that.
Hey, we claim it. Let's go.
And he is also a certified relationship coach who's been on the show before. But Mr. Sean C. Wilburn, how are you?
I am elated to be here this morning.
Not elated. I love that.
Elated.
I love the excitement. Amped, honey. That's what I like. But it's all about toxic relationships. Thank you all for watching. And let me turn this volume down, y'all. Y'all know how it goes sometime. But we are going to have a good conversation. Thank you, Miss Patricia. Hi, Stephanie, Andreas, Augustin. I hope I said your name correctly. Thank you for watching. But please put your comments on, and we will read them live, y'all. Toxic relationships, we've all been in them. But let me start with the first question, and I'm going to start with you, Angela, and then Sean. This is what I find. Are we really unaware when people are toxic, or do we just not want to see it? Angela, let's start with you.
I think it's two answers to that, because sometimes we are not aware that we're in toxic relationships, and sometimes we are aware. If you're around someone all the time, especially a loved one, and you have been used to being around that person, you may not realize that it is toxic, especially when you're maybe in a relationship or you're in a marriage. Sometimes we try to work so hard to make it work that we push aside what's being toxic in that relationship. So it can go two ways, where you may know and you may not know that someone is toxic in the relationship.
Okay, Sean C. Wilburn, do we not really know, or do we just not want to see it?
I think that's a touchy subject, because oftentimes when we are in toxic relationships, the reason why we don't know is because we don't know the difference between a connection and an attachment.
Oh, I like that.
And so what happens is a lot of people will deem what is actually an attachment a connection, and it's not, because toxicity usually is connected to a place of vulnerability. So when you're vulnerable and you don't recognize that you are, or that's an open place for you, and this person is filling a void that you didn't realize you had, it really more so is an inward thing more than it is an outward thing.
Wow. Yeah, I like how you describe the attachment versus the connection. We don't think of that. Right. Y'all see why I had him on, people? Not only is he a smart dresser, he's a smart person. Smart people in the building. But why is it that, and Sean, I want to start with you, why is it that it seems the people closest to us, we always hear that, the people closest to us sometimes are the ones who are the most toxic to us? Yeah. Why is that?
Well, I mean, that's simply because, like, go back once again to the whole attachment piece. They know you. They know your ins and outs. Yeah. And they know your weaknesses as well as your strengths. And if you have a manipulative person around you, they know how to play on that. And they know that you need them to fill that void of that attachment.
But you've known them since you were 2 years old? Were they always toxic since 2?
It depends. It depends on the environment. Sometimes they are. Sometimes it really is just, they grew into that. And that's a disposition they've taken on. But even in the midst of that, they know you well enough to attach. Yeah. Angela, what about you? Why is it sometimes, I like that. Carla says, I like that, connection versus attachment. Patricia says, that was deep, so thank you for that. Angela, what about, why is it that the people closest to us ends up the people who are toxic to us?
Yeah, I think, too, because they are, close to you, sometimes you may not even realize that they are toxic to you. And like you said, too, even if you're going back and you're 2 and 3 years old, sometimes if you're used to that, all of your life, you may think that that's a norm. Yeah. You may not even think that that's something that is actually toxic or not good for you because you lived that all of your life. So, definitely you want to, definitely just separate yourself or talk through that. Or sometimes, just having someone else around you that will realize that. But, all those, years, you may really think that that is a norm for you and not anything that's wrong with that.
Have you all had to do some spring cleaning? Yes. Sean, have you had to sweep some people? Have you had to clean your circle?
Man, listen.
And who was it? You don't have to give names, but was it a close friend?
I won't give names, but I will simply say this. Yeah. I came into the new year. And there were some people that didn't come into the new year with me.
Come on, y'all. Yeah.
That's number one.
Yeah.
My peace is valuable to me.
Oh, yes.
Okay. On social media. Yeah. I may not delete you, but I promise you, take a break on Facebook is my best friend.
Oh, yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
When I see someone is giving me too much, too much. Yeah. If I can say it that way. I go ahead and push that little button.
Block?
And not block. It's a button that says take a break.
Yeah.
And for 31 days, you don't have to see them.
Well, see, sometimes I got to delete you. Not 31 days, 31 years. But anyway, and I pray for you from a distance. But yeah, have you had to do some spring cleaning, Angela?
Oh, yes, I had to do some spring cleaning.
And who was it? Was it family? Was it friends?
It's been family. It's been friends. Wow. But I definitely had to do some spring cleaning. As you start to elevate yourself as well, too. I have something, and I got asked this by one of my pastors. He asked me, what was your no tolerance? I never really got asked that question before. And I said,
wow, that's good.
I don't want anybody to steal my peace nor my joy away from me. So if I start to feel like that is being lost, then you're toxic, to me within a relationship. So I definitely had to start to separate from people. If I let you know that, hey, I don't want the negativity around me, and you still continue to bring the negativity around me, then guess what? I got to separate myself from you because I'm going into a different space.
Oh, yes. And Patricia says, she said, thank you for watching, Julian, Robert, Miss Shay, Randall. Miss Patricia says, yes, they were always like that, but you finally grew into the spirit of discernment. Light bulb moment.
Come on.
When we're immature, sometimes that stuff is okay, but when we grow up, we're like, wait a minute.
Indeed.
Y'all, and Dr. Don had to sweep some people away. I pray for you from a distance. I had to do some spring, summer, winter, fall cleaning, but I'm just telling you, it has to be done. But I think we've all been there. But how do we deal with people? And I want to start with you, Sean, and then Angela. How do we deal? Some of you all may be dealing with family members who are toxic. How do you deal when your sibling is toxic? When it may be your cousin, your daddy, your mama? It's easier said than done. These people are blood. So how do you deal with that?
I may be the villain for saying this.
No, yeah.
But I have learned the art of loving people from afar.
Yes.
I love you with a long arm of love. I don't have to be around you, although I know I am connected to you.
Yeah.
So, it's no love lost, but it is, like I said, I value my peace.
Yeah. So no family don't expect him at the reunion bringing potato salad. You might have to admit, yeah.
I'll come. I'll be cordial.
Yeah.
I'll come. But it's one of those things. You're not going to be in my everyday space.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Because there are those times when it is going to be hard. Thank you, Monique Mays. Thank you guys all for watching. And it is very true. You just have to distance yourself. Angela, how do you deal with it when it's family? Some people say, Dr. Don, I can't cut them off. It's my cousin. We grew up together. I see them. They're blood. How do you do that?
And that's the same here, too, because if I see that you're negative, I will sit down and talk to you first.
Yeah.
And if that does not work and you continue to be negative, then I will distance myself. Then I still love you.
Yeah.
I still care for you.
Yeah.
But I have to distance myself because I just don't have time for that negative space and you being toxic in my life and things like that. No.
That is so true. But this is another one. Sean, you're a pastor. What do you do when that toxic person, and y'all, let's keep it real and have real talk, when they're in the church? When you got to see them every Sunday.
Okay.
When you're in the organization with them. They could be in your organization. When you have to see this church member and you pray for them. But when you might bump into them on a regular basis, how do you deal with it in that situation?
Well, number one, one of the things that I think people, especially in modern day church, don't like when they see a lot of times is that pastors have armor bearers.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Yeah. My armor bearers take care of that. That's first thing.
Okay.
You kind of already know.
Yeah.
Sister or brother so-and-so has ill intentions, or they are, they come to pretty much drain pastor. Because my gift is prophetic, so I constantly will have people come and trying to pull on me to get me to prophesy to them and different things like that. That does become toxic because it's now a one-sided relationship. I'm constantly pouring into you and there's no reciprocation.
Yeah.
So, you learn how to, I don't want to say avoid, but more so, once again, love with a long arm of love.
Yeah.
Okay?
And I think you have to. Yeah. But especially, I think, being a pastor or someone who is in the public, when you're dealing with the general public,
right?
You are definitely getting people from all walks of life.
You do.
They're pulling on you, maybe not for prophetic, but looking at that ring finger and it ain't no ring on it. Oh, yeah, I'm your wife.
Indeed.
That can be toxic.
Yes, that happens often.
Yeah.
It's actually irritating. Because as a pastor, what a lot of times the ladies are attracted to is the anointing on your life. And it's not necessarily the man.
Yeah.
Because the anointing draws. That's the whole point of it.
Mm.
So what ends up happening is you don't understand the fight that goes along with this. So
got it.
Usually the ones that run to me are the ones I run from.
Ah, okay. This ain't a relationship show, ladies, about love, but I thought I was hoping you would lead to that. Because what does it say in the word? A man findeth when he findeth a wife. Don't try to put yourself out there, but let him find you. Let Pastor Sean find you. Right. Angela, when you have to see this person every week at the volunteer event, when this is a person you're going to see at your job, sitting in a cubicle next to you every day, how do you deal with that toxic person when you have to see them on a regular basis?
Usually with me, I'm just going to be nice.
Yeah.
Be kind, and I say kill it with kindness. That's sometimes what I'm saying. And then just keep it general.
Yes.
You cannot take it to a personal level or anything like that. Keep it general, keep it. If it's at work, you keep it to the level of work, and then you keep it moving. If it's in church, so you'll never know that I may have a issue or concern with you, just because I'm keeping it general and I'm making sure that I'm staying nice and just, like I say, sometimes killing it with kindness.
Yeah.
And that has worked for me in the past.
Yeah. Kill them with kindness, not kill them. Y'all. She said kill them with kindness. I know some of y'all want to bring out the blade. That taser, that mace. Trust me, Dr. Dawn has been in a situation where she got her hand in that purse, and I'm like, help me, Lord. Some of these people, kill them with kindness, don't kill them. Help us, Lord. I'm telling y'all, it is. But people deal with toxic relations. But when we get back, I want to talk about, because I put a question out on social media. We have those situations where we have friends who have befriended that person who has been toxic to us. Wow. Do we remain friends? Do you remain friends with the person who is friends with that toxic person? That person who did you wrong, they're friends with that. Is that person still your friend? Some people say, I drop them both, Dr. Dawn. Some people say, well, you're making that person choose. That person didn't do anything to me. I'm sorry they hurt you, but they're good to me. So what do you do when your friends are hanging with that person who did you wrong, who was toxic to you? Dr. Dawn Radio Show. No judgment, just realness. We will be back. Please continue to like and share. Thank you, guys. Love you. We'll be back.
This is Chauncey Glover from ABC 13. When you're not able to watch us live on your mobile device, be sure to stay connected to Synergy Radio 1480 anywhere in Houston, in your house, in your office, or even in your car by tuning in to 1480 AM. Synergy Radio Network, where it all comes together.
Synergy phone lines are now open at 832-230-5592. Give us a call now.
Deciding to get married is a huge decision. This is Dr. Viviana Coles, Houston's Love Doc. The private premarital counseling program at Houston Relationship Therapy is designed to set you up for a successful and satisfying marriage. We don't avoid the tough topics like money, sex, and parenting. Our 10-session Get It Right program provides you with a solid foundation on which to build healthy communication and interactions long term. We've teamed up with the state of Texas to offer you $60 off of your marriage license. We also offer a fast-track version for those getting married soon. Visit our website, www.houstonpremaritalcounseling.com, to learn more about our program, premarital counselors, and package pricing. Ready to schedule? Call us at 713-542-2221. Appointments are available 7 days a week, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. At Houston Relationship Therapy, we know the difference between getting married and being married. Our experienced and dedicated premarital counselors can help prepare you for a satisfying, loving partnership. Call 713-542-2221 to schedule your appointment today and plan for your dream marriage now at Houston Relationship Therapy.
Have you been in a car accident recently? Or have you had an injury due to a fall at work or at home? Arango Chiropractic Clinic treats people who have sustained automobile and work-related injuries to the neck, back, shoulders, arms, and legs. We understand what it takes after an injury and are experts in writing medical legal reports and helping you receive all the healthcare and financial compensation you require. To make an appointment, call 713-868-6166. That number again is 713-868-6166.
This is Jolanda. I'm a Tell It Jones, and I'm telling you to stay tuned to 1480 right here, right now.
All right, everybody, we are back. Happy Friday, happy Friday. Thank you for watching the Dr. Dawn Radio Show. Shout out to Danielle, Stacy, Nikki, Wes, everybody who is listening, watching. Thank you for the messages during the show. You don't want to read your comments out loud? That's okay. Send it to me in private, down in the DM. I won't tell what you told me. But thank you so much. We are talking about toxic relationships. It's spring cleaning. Could your circle need cleaning? But I want to ask you, Sean, Angela, and then Sean, and then I'll put it out to you, Facebook Live. Let me know what you think. How do you feel when your friend is friends with the person who did you wrong or who was toxic to you? Are you still friends with them?
No, I have to distance myself from that person too, because then I can't be myself around them. If I feel that I can't, if you're my friend, I can't confide in you. I don't know if you're going and telling that other person all of my business, and then going back and forth. So guess what? I'll have to distance myself from you as well too, because you just can't be yourself. You have to pick and choose your words of what you know are trying to say, and you just can't be you. So no, I'll have to also distance myself as well.
But Sean, that person says they didn't do anything to me.
Well,
they did you wrong, but I don't have no beef with them.
that becomes a test of friendship versus acquaintanceship or associate.
Okay.
9 times out of 10, if you stay friends with that person and you know that we have beef and they've done me wrong, I may not distance myself, but you have been demoted.
Yeah.
And now I know you're not my friend.
But does that mean that's not their friend?
Yeah.
So if we have somebody who we know who's mutual who did you wrong and they didn't do me wrong, and I still hang with them, why am I demoted? I didn't do anything to you.
Because it's a circle of trust. She just said it earlier.
Yeah.
So if I can't trust you, you know, we may be cool to hang out, you know, go watch the game.
Yeah.
But, you know, I dare not call you if I'm in trouble, because guess who else you're probably going to call and tell? Hey, guess what Sean did? You know, because I can't trust you with my secrets. I can't trust you, you know, with my life at that point in time, in my opinion, because you're connected to someone who, you know, pretty much wants to see me fail.
And then thank you, Sabrina, for joining. Rhonda Levan says, I agree with Angela. Damon says, let's talk about it. I definitely see, and like that saying goes, I know y'all saw that on social media, if they're hanging with the people who are talking about you, then they probably talking about
That's
you
the
too.
truth.
Because there's no way that can't go on. If I'm hanging around someone who's been, and to me, I've been in that situation. I like your comment to Neil Allen. She said, I think it depends on the situation. It is definitely dependent on the situation. Every situation is different. Every situation is different, because there are some people who think things are toxic, and I'm like, that wasn't really toxic.
Right.
She didn't go to your event, so she's toxic. No, boo, she not toxic.
Come to the event.
She just didn't come to your event. Sometimes we think stuff is toxic, and it ain't toxic, y'all. I'm
Right.
not going to stop hanging with somebody because they you know,
That's
you didn't
me.
like the way the shirt they were wearing. I mean, come on, y'all.
Right.
But you, Angela, do you hang, you know, is it a trust thing for you? You no longer trust that person?
Yeah, it's definitely a trust thing for me, because if you are still friends with them, then I can't trust that you're not going to tell them what I'm, you know, telling you, and you know, you can't confide in them with different things. So it's definitely a trust issue.
Monique Mays says, I agree. I haven't met a neutral person yet.
Church.
Because, guys, and I'm going to share this with you. You know, I always share some things with you. This has happened to me. There was somebody, and it is very true, because somebody who has been toxic to me, there's a friend who hangs with them. Now, they haven't been toxic to them, but they've been toxic to me. I no longer can go to your events. I no longer, I have distanced myself from this person, because I'm like, I just can't do it. Right. You know, because now because every time I come around you, this person is around. I got to have that energy. I can't, number one, is for that reason, but also I'm like, do you not see it? And maybe you don't see it yet. But for me, I do agree. It happens. We just kind of distant. You've been demoted. I didn't want to demote you, but now I can no longer trust you. And that just makes me think, but y'all, when it comes to the spirit of discernment, how do we discern who is toxic? How do you discern who is toxic? Some people say, well, Dr. Don, I don't know until I've been stabbed in the back. How do we know? I get stabbed in the back constantly. How do I, you know, I'm a believer in prayer. I pray every day, Lord, give me the spirit of wisdom and discernment, and reveal to me who does not need to be in my circle.
Right.
Reveal to me who doesn't need to be in my circle. That's Dr. Don's strategy, and God hadn't let me down yet. But Angela, you, and then Sean, how do you discern who's for you and who's not for you?
And that's what I, have to do too. I'm big on prayer, and that's one of my mottos too, keeping God first, because He will reveal to you who needs to be around you and who does not. I mean, He's come to me many of times and said, "Oh, you need to walk away."
Oh, yes.
And I've had friends that have asked me, "Well, how do you just know just to walk away, and how could you do that?" But when God tells me I need to walk away, then I need to be obedient and walk away.
Oh, yes.
Because it's for a reason that he's telling me. I may not be able to see that reason at this moment, but I need to be obedient and walk away.
No, I agree. The Spirit of God, he'll just tell you. It'll be like a gut. Won't it be like a punch in the gut? Like you don't even know what it is, but you're like, God is telling me something. Just, yeah. I mean, you're a pastor, you know that.
That's exactly what I was going to answer.
Yeah.
And say, you know. You always go with your first mind. Some people call it your first mind. Some people call it discernment. Some people call it a gut feeling.
Yeah. Whatever call
that
it.
Is,
Yeah.
Trust it.
Yeah.
It's not lying.
Yeah.
And most times we give people the benefit of the doubt. And watch this. There is no benefit in doubting.
Say that again. Say that again.
You want me to literally say it again?
Say it again.
We oftentimes give people the benefit of the doubt. And there is actually no benefit in doubting.
Wes Carr says, that's good. Patricia says, God reveals the deepest and hidden things. Wes Carr says, me too. I just pulled away. He pulled away from both people. He was talking about the earlier topic, but spirit and discernment. I'm sure people ask you, Pastor Sean, but it's nothing I think we need to be worried about. Some people just stress over, how do I know how to, just let life happen. Go with the flow, and again, ask God for the spirit of discernment. Listen to your gut, whatever.
Right.
But it'll be revealed and you move on.
And some people are just petty, though.
Yeah.
There's a distinct difference between pettiness and discernment.
Yeah.
You said it earlier. They didn't come to your event. It's not toxic.
That's
That's you being petty.
Yes, that's
you
right.
Just kind of tripping.
Yeah.
But if there is something that's uneasy about being around this person, and it's just something you can't put your finger on, 9 times out of 10, that's a check in your spirit.
Oh yes.
Telling you, hey, danger.
Danger. Do we believe toxic people can change?
Yes,
Angela,
they can.
Sean,
Yeah,
can they change?
They can change.
Have there been times in your life when you all were toxic to other people?
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we all have. We all have. We all have. Have you all been toxic to people before you came in a place where you were mentally, spiritually, and emotionally whole?
Yes,
Yeah.
I have, and I didn't even realize that I was, and I got told something that I talk at people, and I was like, oh, I didn't know what that was, and for a while, but I realized, and I came from a good place, but it's the way of your delivery of your words, so we have to make sure that we watch our delivery. We can mean well every day, all day, but if we don't deliver our words properly, then it can come off as toxic.
That's true. Sean, what was your toxic behavior? Dr. Dawn will tell you hers.
I'll simply tell you this. Sometimes it has nothing to do with dysfunction, but it has everything to do with a bad mix. If you mix 2 chemicals together that don't go together, that's going to be toxic.
Oh, yeah.
And so I found myself even recently in situations with people that I just spiritually, we did not mix.
Yeah.
And so it made for a toxic situation for them and for me.
Yeah. Dr. Dawn's toxicity, and I'm going to tell you, when and you all know this, you both do radio and media. My toxic problem was I was talking about myself so much. I became a little self-centered. That when people were around me, they, but thank God for real friends and family who were like, Dr. Dawn, well, they call me Dawn. They don't call me no Dr. Dawn. They like, Dawn, can we talk about something else? You just talk, and I just was excited. But it started to turn into an ego thing, and I didn't even realize it. Right. And it was me. So I had to tone it down. But thank God for good friends. You talk when it's necessary. I don't always have to bring up Dr. Dawn in a radio show and all that. They're like, okay, we get it, we love you, but this is toxic. Right. We can no longer be around you because it was, and it hurt me to hear it. But your real friends are going to tell you. Somebody says. This is a good comment. Brooklyn One Deep. I like that. What if you're married and that person is toxic? Do you stay or leave? Because the other person, so that's good. If you're married to them, to a toxic, how do you deal with a person who's toxic and you're married to them?
Unless they're beating you, you made a vow.
Wow. So stay.
Unless it is dangerous to your health, to where it's a danger to where you're going to be harmed. That's when you go get counseling if that person is wanting to change.
Yes.
But 9 times out of 10, that's a sign that you just jumped into something without looking.
Yeah.
Because they were toxic before you married.
Oh, yeah. Once again, the spirit of discernment. The spirit of discernment will tell you this is the person you shouldn't be marrying, the person you don't need to be with. God told you the signs were there, but you 40 and your biological clock is ticking, and it's okay. No, it was toxic. I like what Wes says. Wes says, let it go. Carla says, oil and water don't mix. Very true. I like what you said, Alice, about you have to, spirit of discernment, cover yourself with the spirit of Jesus, with the blood of Jesus, with the spirit of God. That'll help you every time, people. It will save us from so many messes.
Indeed.
From so many messes. But do people who are toxic not realize they're toxic? Are they unaware?
Sometimes.
Y'all,
Sometimes
start with
they
you,
do.
Angela. Do they really not know, or do they know their behavior is toxic? I think some people know better. Some people know better, some people may not. But do we think that they don't know any better?
Some people don't know that they're toxic. And like I say, even, in the state where I was at one time, I didn't realize that I was being toxic to this particular person. But sometimes they don't know that they are toxic.
Wow.
And sometimes they may look at themselves that everybody else is wrong, where everybody else is doing this wrong.
Yeah.
Everybody else is walking away from me. Well, if everybody else is walking away from you and everybody else sees that you're doing something wrong, then you're going to have to look within yourself to see, okay, what changes can I make?
That's right.
What's going on with me?
Yeah.
So that you won't be a toxic person to anyone else.
Yeah, I definitely agree. But before we take a break quickly, I want you all to give me your opinion about it and just give me, your final thoughts on, should you reconcile with a toxic person? Are there times when you can reconcile? Sean, yes or no?
Yes, if the person wants. I say if they want counseling and you can work it out, work it out.
Okay. Angela, you?
I say yes, too.
Okay.
Definitely if you're able to talk it through and work it out with them, they have to be able to listen to you and you have to be able to listen to them and have effective dialogue between each other. And then if you need to take it to counseling where someone can be there to mediate you, but yes, you definitely can work it out with a toxic person.
Y'all hear that? You can spring clean, but you can maybe bring them back to, it depends. Again, it depends on the situation. We all, but when it comes to do we not know better, I didn't realize it. So sometimes we don't realize we're toxic. And I could have taken that as, well, they're just jealous. No. You got to check. We got to check ourselves, y'all. We have to own our stuff. Real talk, more talk on toxic relationships. When we get back, Dr. Dawn will be giving you her top 3 on today's topic. You don't want to miss it. Stay right there. We got to pay some bills. Dr. Dawn Radio Show. We'll be right back. That's real stuff.
KLVL is entertaining. KLVL is informative. 1480, we got you.
Deciding to get married is a huge decision. This is Dr. Viviana Coles, Houston's Love Doc. The private premarital counseling program at Houston Relationship Therapy is designed to set you up for a successful and satisfying marriage. We don't avoid the tough topics like money, sex, and parenting. Our 10-session Get It Right program provides you with a solid foundation on which to build healthy communication and interactions long term. We've teamed up with the state of Texas to offer you $60 off of your marriage license. We also offer a fast-track version for those getting married soon. Visit our website, www.houstonpremaritalcounseling.com, to learn more about our program, premarital counselors, and package pricing. Ready to schedule? Call us at 713-542-2221. Appointments are available 7 days a week, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. At Houston Relationship Therapy, we know the difference between getting married and being married. Our experienced and dedicated premarital counselors can help prepare you for a satisfying, loving partnership. Call 713-542-2221 to schedule your appointment today and plan for your dream marriage now at Houston Relationship Therapy.
This is Victoria Alvarado, one of the top psychics in Houston. I want to introduce you to my new show, Evolve.
So wait a minute, you can read my future?
Yes, and I can help you connect to your loved ones that have crossed over.
Wow, that's amazing. Tell me more.
Evolve is also about life, growth, the law of attraction, and getting what you want.
This is Epi Munoz, Qigong and longevity instructor. We're also going to talk about how you can improve your health, live longer, increase your energy, and enhance your mental awareness.
This is Chelsea Nguyen. I'm a professional image consultant. Learn to become your best self by connecting mind, body, and spirit.
I will also take callers so that you can get a mini reading to find out what your future holds.
Join us during your lunch hour every Friday at 12 p.m. for our new show, Evolve.
Heal, thrive, grow. Here on the Synergy Network every Friday at 12 p.m.
Where it all comes together.
You're listening to Houston's perfect blend of jams, sports, and information. At home, at work, at play, Synergy, where it all comes.
Don Paul. Help us, Lord. You hear me? Yeah, help us, Lord. Dr. Don Radio Show. No judgment, just realness. Very good show on toxic relationships. Spring cleaning. Is it time to clean your house? Brooklyn says, good conversation. Great job. Great job to you, Brooklyn, too. Shout out to you, too, Brooklyn. Are you from New York? I don't know. I like that name, though. But thank you all. But good talk on toxic relationships. But you know Dr. Dawn always has to give you her top 3. So today's top 3 is, how do you deal with toxic people? How do you separate yourself? How do you end it? Some people say, Dr. Dawn, I don't know how. It's very uncomfortable. How do I have the conversation? I don't know how to do it. I'm going to talk about that today. Possible ways that may help you if you have someone who's toxic and you just are ready to end it, but you don't know how. And I want these people to weigh in. No judgment, just realness. Look, and this is not written in any book anywhere. This is Dr. Dawn's opinion, and I think it's pretty good, you know. And I think it's pretty, it's common sense, y'all. Some of this stuff is common sense. And then I'm speaking from my own experiences. Hi, Joy. How are you? But first one is, and I think, guys, and I want you to weigh in on this, you just kind of, because you know those people, because there have been times, y'all, and you kind of know they're toxic when, you know how when you see their number pop up in your phone and you just kind of cringe? Or you're like, God, and it's ring number 3, and you're like, should I really answer? And I'm like, and then it's like, I might as well just get him over with, talk to him, get him out the way. I mean, you shouldn't have to be dealing with all that. That is clearly a sign that person is toxic. You don't want to deal with them, or those people you got to pray real hard because you know you're about to see them. Y'all, I've had to do that. I'm like, oh, my God, Lord Jesus, be with me because I'm about to have to encounter this person. But I would say the first thing is you just have to kind of not be available. I have learned that things kind of work themselves out. God just kind of works it out where if you distance yourself, you're no longer available. Oh, I can't make it. I can't make it. Now, some people you can get away with that with, but some people will ask you, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But don't you find that you just kind of distance yourself from those people? Is that something you've had to do?
Yes, yeah. I just had to distance myself, and I've gotten those phone calls as well too, and I'm like, oh my goodness, you know, and you question whether you want to answer or not, and you know, and those just are some hard situations where, you know, if you do, you know, answer it, you may have to go through something, and then you maybe lose your joy and peace for that day, and you're like, oh, and they messed up your whole day, and sometimes I've not answered, you know, the telephone and everything because I didn't want to. The day is going great. I don't have time to lose my peace and my joy today. I don't have time.
Ooh, Joy says, great topic. Joy, you know about toxic relationships, sister, but don't you find you just have to distance yourself? I'm not available. Pastor Sean is not able to counsel you anymore. I'm distancing myself from you.
It really depends on the relationship, too. If it's something that where I'm not deeply connected to that person, that merits a conversation. Where if I am deeply connected to them. If I'm not deeply connected to them and it's just, you know, in passing, you know, I distance myself then. Because we don't have a place of intimacy to where that would matter. You know, but when that intimacy is there, you kind of got to do it like you do that Band-Aid that's been on that sore.
Rip it off quickly.
Yeah, go and rip it off.
Yeah.
It hurts worse when you take it off slow.
Yeah, and then when you put some Neosporin on it, it's like it was never there.
Right.
Yeah, right? I mean, seriously.
Right.
But you just have to distance yourself. Y'all, there's some times when I have to say, oh, I can't make it. You know, because I know that there are going to be people there who just are not right for my spirit, my soul. They're toxic to my space. and Pastor Sean, you touched on it, protecting our peace earlier. I can't make it. And then pretty soon they just stop inviting you. And I'm like, and God it just works itself out. And they really won't confront you because sometimes these people know better. They know why you're not coming anymore. But good people, I find, they like good people.
That's right.
And if they find that you're no longer in that space where you are toxic or engaging in their toxic foolishness, they kind of just move on. Don't you think? I mean, they go flock to people. Certain people are just, like-minded people like being around each other, and when they see that your spirit is no longer like theirs, and they go find another group of people that they can be toxic with. Joy says block, LOL. Block button, honey. Not that 30-day stuff. Sean, Sean's nice. He does that 30-day stuff.
I'm a pastor. I can't just completely block you. I need to give you the word.
Yes. Oh, okay. So for 30 days, maybe.
For 30 days, I don't need to hear you, though.
Oh,
Let me just put you on silent.
Oh, man. But another one, guys, I find, and I want you to weigh in,
okay.
You have to have the conversation. Because also another sign is if you are uncomfortable around someone. Haven't you been around certain people and you're like, I don't know what it is, but I just don't feel comfortable around you?
And they usually confirm why later.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, I've had a situation recently. It was someone I was introduced to by a mutual friend, and it was actually a ministry connection.
Wow.
And it was something that I was like, it's just something about this cat that just
Yeah.
rubs me wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. And I don't know if you ever been around somebody that rubbed you so wrong, it's almost like they're making you mad. You know, and they ain't said nothing crazy to you. It's just something about his spirit is just like, okay, yeah, dude, I can't be around you.
Yeah.
And I was finally around him for a particular length of time and recognized what it was. That's why. Okay, I understand now.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I'm out.
The spirit of discernment. Sometimes when you meet people immediately, it's like, oh. The conversation. Angela, don't you feel, you're just uncomfortable around the person. And it will be immediate, y'all.
Yes.
You ain't got to wait no years. Some of these people you meet immediately, and I'm like,
something's wrong.
Yeah, something wrong. Help. Yeah, something wrong with this sister.
Yes.
Yeah. You coming up to me gossiping, and you don't even know me.
Right.
You just met me, and you're talking about somebody else to me, just
Right.
like, what is this? Nah.
So if I know you quickly talking about somebody else, you'll quickly talk about me.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm sorry that happened, sister, but no. But I think when we have the conversation, this is something Dr. Don suggests, when you are having to have the conversation, because some people will ask you, well, why don't you hang around anymore? Why don't you hang around me anymore? What's the deal? What has changed? Again, maybe they're not aware of it, but you can have just a nice little conversation. You can say, you know what? I have trouble. Right now I'm in a place where I have trouble dealing with your negativity or something that you did. Just tell them specifically what bothered them. Don't be vague, people. Don't be vague. If you don't like what they've done, call out what they've done. Say, I don't like that you constantly gossip. I don't like that you constantly tear men down or women down or you tear our people down. I don't like that your energy is always negative. I'm sorry about what you're going through, but I'm in a space where I just have to be in a place of peace. I love you, but I think it's best I don't see a lot of you right now. And just, right? Hello?
Yes.
Don't be vague and say, well, I don't know, I'm busy. Don't lie. If somebody asks you, just tell them head on.
Right.
It's best to be honest, because then you're going to be like, oh, you ain't always got a meeting.
Right.
Eventually, that meeting, they're going to see you out with somebody else, and they're going to say, well, why do you hang with them? You just need to be honest. Call out. Say it. It's not what you say, but it's how you say. You always have to say it in love. And just say what bothers you.
That's right.
And then you're protecting your space, and they'll take it or won't take it. And I find that some people don't even know their behaviors. Like us, we too were doing things that were toxic. We didn't even realize it. And some people some people are like, oh, thank you. I didn't even know that. That's something I need to work on. So you never know. So always be honest. I think you always just have to have an honest conversation. Have you all ever had to have, the conversation?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
But as a pastor, that has to be hard because you're supposed to be this man of God, but that doesn't mean you have to tolerate everybody's bad behavior.
Funny story. Funny story. It wasn't funny at the time.
Yeah.
But it was a funny story.
It's funny now.
Okay. I had a member who had diabetes really, 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 really bad. Okay. And they were coming up for prayer every week. Okay. And so they called me and were crying, and I gave them a practical answer
Okay.
to what they needed to do because they ate horribly.
Wow.
like on purpose. Like you waking up to blood sugars in the 500s.
Yeah.
You know, okay, you got a son. You need to be there for your son.
Yeah.
I gave them a very hard conversation, but the reaction that I got was extremely disrespectful the next day at church.
Wow.
And you know, that was one of the tests that I failed. I had one of my sons in the gospel with me in the office. I never counsel people by myself.
Yeah.
So one of my sons was there, and the lady came in my office and slammed the door. Boom! I'm pissed at you. What?
What did I do? Yeah.
And so, like, you know, I'm from the hood. There's certain things you can't do.
Yeah.
You know, we don't deal with confrontation like that too well.
Yeah.
So the hands on my neck stood up, and I blacked out for a second. Don't you ever! And all I heard was my son, Pastor, calming me down. But I had to have that hard conversation with that person. Look, you know, I know you're mad at me, but number one, don't disrespect me because I'm doing this because I love you.
Yeah.
You know, and people, when they're hurt people hurt other people.
Yes.
So you have to sometimes be very mindful of how you deal with them. And as a pastor, you have to sometimes take the bull by the horns. And it's a very uncomfortable place.
Yeah.
Very uncomfortable. But yeah, it was funny. It's funny now, but it wasn't funny then.
Oh, yeah, but I think we've all failed that test. We have all failed that test, and we've allowed it to anger us. We've lost control of our emotions with these people. But people, I will tell you, you have to distance yourself. That's what you need to do. You need to have the real conversation. You need to have a real conversation. It's not easy. It's hard. But it's going to be on your spirit if you don't say anything. Right. There are going to be some opportunities you have to turn down because the spirit is not right. Stop feeling pressure to be with toxic. Oh, this person can help me. I'll deal with their spirit just to get ahead. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Yes. Attachment and connection. That's gonna be y'all's next show. But yeah, right. That might be one. But seriously, guys, you have to have the conversation. You have to distance yourself, a healthy distance, because you're protecting your peace. And then also, you got to pray for people. You can love them, but love them from a distance. Right. But you do have to pray because God knows, you know, these people need prayer. Yes. People who are toxic, they definitely need prayer. We will be right back. Dr. Don had to pray right now. Maybe I was thinking about somebody I needed to pray for, but help me, Lord. Yes, but we will be back. Dr. Don will be answering a life and love question. It is very good. Sean and Angela will help me weigh in on this. I will be giving you my Dr. Don Daily Dose. Don't go nowhere. Dr. Don Radio Show, no judgment, just realness. I'll be right back.
This is Cesar Espinosa from Fiel Houston, and you're listening to 1480 AM and 94.9 FM.
Hey, this is Corey Shearer. This is Alexis Moore. Hey, this is JJ on the mic.
This is Charles X. White.
Hi, this is Jennifer J. Hayes.
Hey, everybody, this is Chauncey Glover from ABC 13, and you're listening to Synergy 1480, where it all comes together.
Have you been in a car accident recently? Or have you had an injury due to a fall at work or at home? Arango Chiropractic Clinic treats people who have sustained automobile and work-related injuries to the neck, back, shoulders, arms, and legs. We understand what it takes after an injury and are experts in writing medical legal reports and helping you receive all the healthcare and financial compensation you require. To make an appointment, call 713-868-6166. That number again is 713-868-6166.
Group attention. That's right. You're listening to Sports Talk Radio with Big Sarge. Hey, this is what I'm going to need y'all to do. I'm going to need y'all to make sure that you go and do your research. Call in. Let me get your facts, your opinions, everything that you want to talk about. Call in and talk with me about it. And let's just go from there. Things like, why is the NFL Combine and the military PT test so much connected? So you know what, y'all, call in. Let's talk about things like that. We'll talk about basketball. We'll talk about football. We'll talk about anything that you want to talk about. It's open. And then you know what? I may even throw in a little equestrian. I know some of y'all listen to equestrian, right? Come on, y'all. We can talk about horse jumping, can't we? Call in, because Big Sarge know everything, all right? So make sure you have your stuff together, because I'm going to have my stuff together, all right? All right. This is Sports Talk with Big Sarge. Group ball out.
Sports Talk with Big Sarge, Monday through Fridays, 2 to 4 p.m.
Dawn Paul, a.k.a. The Dr. Dawn, is a certified life coach, and she is not a licensed medical professional. Should you need counseling, seek the advice of a certified professional. All right, everybody. No judgment, just realness. Dr. Don Radio Show. Thank you for spending your Friday morning with me before you go to lunch. Love that. Love that, love that. We are talking toxic relationships. Hopefully what we have said today made you think about some things. But Dr. Don, you know, she's always here to answer life and love questions. I got a good one today. But if you want to send Dr. Don your question, if you want to, of course, call in, you can do that, 832-230-5592. But I do also pull questions from social media or when I receive them from email. thedrdawn@gmail.com. Or you can hit me up on my social media. DM me in a good way. DM me your question in a good way. And Dr. Don will answer your question live on air. But today's question, and I want Sean and Angela, would you help me with this?
Sure.
Yes.
You know, I think I'm a pretty smart cookie, but 3 minds are better than one. I love hearing other experts' opinions on things because we always, I just like to hear other people's take on things. But this is from Sonia in Texas. Hey, Sonia. She says, Dr. Don, I have not always had it easy, and I have made some mistakes. But now I am in a good place in my life with a good job, and I'm living on my own, and I'm proud of that. However, I have a friend who is now acting funny towards me. She ignores my calls, and when I do talk to her, she makes up excuses for not wanting to hang with me. I also know that she has talked about me. How do I deal? This is someone who I have known for a long time. Good question, Sonia. Thank you so much. So basically, Sonia is now in a good place, and a friend she has known for a long time is now acting funny. Mm-hmm. Angela, what should she said? How should she deal? Somebody's acting funny. Yeah.
You know, a lot of times when you start to elevate and start to go higher, some people like to see you down. Let me say that first. Some people like to see you down. And when you start to elevate and move up and do, different things and live towards your purpose, they start hating on you. Yeah. So then that comes a time that may be someone you have to separate yourself from. If they've already started distancing themselves from you, then that's just a open room for you to go ahead and start distancing yourself from them. So that happens.
Pastor Sean.
I'm going to piggyback off of what she's saying, just to kind of give a little extra to it.
Yeah.
What's at the end of the word relationship? Ship.
Yeah.
It's a vehicle to get you from one place to the next. Mm-hmm. Here's the problem.
Love it.
Most people don't understand that there are very few relationships that you have where that person is meant to walk the whole journey of life with you.
Amen. Yes.
Relationships have expiration dates.
Oh, yes.
And sometimes we have a hard time letting go of relationships when they end, when they expire, and then they become, guess what? Toxic.
Yes.
That milk has an expiration date.
Yeah.
If you drink it after the expiration date, even though it may still taste like it's okay, you're going to get sick later.
That's right.
You know,
but sometimes it clumps up, and
right.
you're
obvious.
still trying to. Yeah,
it's obvious.
Yeah.
So you have to cut that off.
Yeah.
You have to cut it off.
I definitely agree. You're getting hearts on that. See, that's why I like. Y'all see, Dr. Dunn brings good spirits and smart people into place, and people who. Let me tell you something. And this is another lesson I want you to know. People who have good spirits and who are not toxic want other people in their space who are actually doing something as well. Right. You can't be afraid to bring other people on your platform. That's another sign of a toxic person. Mm-hmm. They don't want other people on their platform shining too.
That's right.
Dr. Dunn don't want no dummies in here who can't talk. I mean, come on, y'all. Come on. That's another sign. Insecurities. That's another one.
That's right.
But Dr. Dunn's going to say this, Sonia. Sometimes our successes can expose the true friends and the real ones. And look, people, I'm not talking about just money. Anytime in your life where there is growth, there is elevation. You will see who the real one is. Get a boyfriend and see who's for you. Get a new car. Lose some weight. I find a lot of women have told me, Dr. Dawn, after I lost weight, my friends left me. But anytime you're in a place where you're elevated, it's not just money and business, but when you are in a better place and you become spiritually, mentally, emotionally whole, and you change your life for the better, it will expose people. And unfortunately, it brings out other people's insecurities.
That's right.
Yes.
And we didn't know these insecurities existed because we were in a place where we were insecure and we weren't right. But I would say this is definitely a sign of a toxic relationship. But I would tell you, sister, I would advise against your friend's insecurities do not have to be yours, but you need to pray over her. But also, let me say this to you, Sonia, and that's to anybody watching. I do not suggest you continuing to invite people into your life who show signs of a toxic spirit.
Right.
You keep calling her. Why don't we go to lunch? Sister, you need to stop inviting people, trying to invite people into your space. Mm-hmm. The milk is expired. Don't take it from the trash and put it back in the refrigerator. Right. It's expired, y'all. It's clumped. It's clumped up. It's now cottage cheese. We need to let that go. Yes. But I understand you've known her for years, but this sister may not need to be in your space, and God could be working in her life and delivering her from those demons that she may be dealing with. But again, if this is meant to reconcile toxic people, we talked about they can change, God will bring you all together if you all are meant to be together. But this, I also look at it as it opens up your space. When toxic people are not in your life, God will open it up for good people to come in this space.
That's right.
Don't you find that, like, the ones who did you wrong, God will bless you with 5 more good people?
That's right.
He really will. It's just, but I pray God surround you with like-minded people. But I'm proud of you, Sonia. We're proud of you. Aren't we proud of her?
Indeed. Yes.
I will say. But let me say this, Dr. Don's Daily Dose today. I did talk about it's time to clean your house, but what do you do when the house is not in your control? And I may not say what you all want to hear, but Dr. Don's not always here to tell you what you want to hear. But whenever you are in a situation that is out of your control, like your job, you cannot control who gets hired on your job or who's in your organization. But the answer is not always to quit and to jump ship. We talked about ship. It's not always to run. Sometimes God has you in those situations because he's trying to teach you something. Right. Sometimes God wants you to stay because you could be a light in that situation. It's not always time to leave, to quit. We all have been in situations where we have to deal with toxic people, but the answer was not always to quit that job, to leave. And I have found many times that God will remove that person, or he'll remove me to a better place. But I suggest you don't always run. He may be making you be a light to somebody in that situation. You never know. So I know it won't be easy, but you have to pray over that difficult person. But when you are in a situation where you are dealing with a toxic person and the situation is out of your control, it's not always time to quit, leave your job. Everybody wants to say, well, quit. No, that's not always the answer. Listen to God's voice. And if he tells you to quit, quit. If he tells you to leave the organization, leave. But during that time, it's time for you to say, God, what is this? Maybe it's a lesson in it for you. You never know. You never know. But he could be trying to teach you something about yourself. But listen to his voice. Be obedient to it. Because you don't want to miss out on a lesson or a blessing because you are led by your emotions and your emotions are out of control. And believe it or not, when you pray over somebody, sometimes it'll be like they don't even bother you no more. So, yeah, good show today, guys. I want to thank Pastor Sean, the best dressed pastor in the world. Can I say the world?
You can.
Thank you to Miss Angela Denise wearing her Fearless shirt, darling. Show it. But I did tag these people. So make sure you follow them. Follow them. They have some great initiatives in what they are doing. Make sure you follow Dr. Dawn on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, in the tube, THEDRDAWN. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to our supporters. Thank you guys for watching. Love you, and thank you for listening. You all are sending me messages that you're listening as well. You can't watch me on Facebook. I don't want you to get fired. Dr. Dawn loves you, but don't get fired from me. Listen to me. Go in the bathroom, sneak in, get a listen, whatever you got to do. But have a good weekend. Be safe. I will see you guys next Friday. God bless you.
KLVL is entertaining. KLVL is informative. 1480. We got you.
Dawn Paul, a.k.a. the Dr. Dawn, is a certified life coach, and she is not a licensed medical professional. Should you need counseling, seek the advice of a certified professional.
Impossible is not a fact. It's an opinion that can be changed with Synergy.
Synergy Radio. Talk that inspires change. There are 2 types of relationships:
Parasitic and synergistic.
We are Synergy.
Talk that inspires change.
Stay connected to Synergy,
where it all comes together. Synergy Radio, the voice that connects communities.